r/AskReddit, what's the cringiest thing you've ever seen someone do in public? That's not cringe. That's just scumbaggery. Watched someone try to start a flash mob in the mall but no one joined in, just danced alone while everyone watched. Isn't a flash mob something that's planned and rehearsed in advance? Unless this dude was just expecting random strangers to join in on his nonsense or just put on a show. LOL. Woman shaving her legs at the public pool, cream and everything. Like, sitting on the edge of the pool? Or in the showers? Didn't happen to me, but a friend. She was in a band and she and one of the guys in the band and they grabbed dinner one night, they had a couple of times prior. Out of nowhere, he gets on a knee in the restaurant and proposes to her, with no ring. With everyone looking, she just yelled what? No, and walked out. She really tried figure out how he thought they were dating. Aside from dinner after rehearsal a couple of times, they had never even kissed. Please tell me he was just messing with her. A travel agent in the center of Aberdeen doing one of those TWAM building, positivity, management bullshit sessions, outside the shop, in amongst all the passers-by. The cringe was tangible. I know you meant to say team building but I read it as twat building and thought yeah, that's a little cringe. In Aberdeen of all places, the most depressing, cynical city in Scotland. This person was yelling at the barista for getting their coffee order wrong, made a huge scene over a latte. Once saw someone in a full fursuit being walked by a chick in BDSM gear in daylight. Def a humiliation fetish there. Sadly I've seen similar things and have heard others share similar sightings. I'm not one to kink shame, but if your kink involves forcing the public, especially children, to be witness to your kink, you're a piece of shit. At least it was daylight. Imagine how you'd feel encountering that alone at night. That's not cringe, that's full-blown embarrassing. I watched my friend throw a temper tantrum like a fucking child when he realized he was short on money to buy an anime figure because he wasn't paying attention to his finances. I called him out on that shit. Still friends with him, but my love for the guy has been faltering in recent years. How bad we talking here? Sheesh, no disrespect to him but that literally sounds like the kind of thing a stereotype anime fan does, like full-on neckbeard stereotype. Saw a lad I knew at a party sitting on the floor, crying, on the phone to his friend, begging her to come back to his party. Another lad said, hang up before you lose all your fucking dignity. It's good to have a good friend try to get you back into your sanity. I once saw this interaction, and the barista asked to take a look at the drink. She asked the customer's name and she told her, to which the barista turns the cup around and says, see how this isn't your name? Yeah, it's not yours, that's why it's not what you ordered. The lady clearly was embarrassed but wanted to keep huffing and puffing. It was fun to glare at her and laugh. Drove past a homeless guy at a bus stop on a busy street just fully jacking it. Look, you don't catch a lesser charge for giving less than 100%. In fact, there's an argument to be made for speed. Anyway, in for a penny, in for a pound. Did you join in? Sorry, I was in a weird place mentally. Probably drugged out LMAO. I was working at a video game store, and a regular and I were chatting, when outside this guy, like, 30-ish, on the phone was getting louder and louder, and storming back and forth in front of our windows, and eventually culminated with him screaming a bitter, thanks, Mom, into the phone, loud enough that we heard it clearly through the glass, before hanging up and stomping off. And we've been making fun of the guy ever since. Did you hear anything else? I'm curious what conversation led to the outburst. I had a friend who was an old man. And he really was old in every sense of the term. He meant no harm to anyone. But he was oblivious about certain things. We were at a restaurant, and a nice family was sitting nearby us. He loved kids and liked to just chat with them, etc. But he pointed to the little boy and just said, loudly, like 3 times, boy, trying to get his attention. I had to shush him. It was a black family, for crying out loud. I'm cringing just thinking about it. My classmate was jacking off in a plastic bag in the class. Saw a guy propose at a packed sports game, she said no and the camera was on them, whole stadium saw it go down. Okay wait, was he inside the plastic bag, kinda using it as a condom? Would it be rustling fairly loudly? One time I was at the grocery store and there was like 10-year-old banging on his mom's boobs like bongos and making the noises and everything. She looked at him and was like, not at the store. You let them do this at home? That's actually quite worrisome. I was out to dinner with friends from work. We were having fun making jokes and flipping out sarcastic lines. We were all laughing when the waiter decided to join in and apparently felt he was funnier than we were. I would start to talk and he would completely cut me off and insert his own lines. He did this over about a half hour between slapping dishes down. He did not know any of us, or even what we were talking about. Everyone just clammed up, but he kept inserting himself into the dinner. A real downer. TikTok and PC lives. I live at a place with a nice view over waterside. Lately we have been plagued by influencers making content under our balcony disturbing the peace. It's disturbing. Instead of really chill and take the time appreciate the view, it's all about making lots of noise, loud music, it's so annoying. Another couple in a restaurant right beside us. He fed her from his dish, she ordered nothing, and he was obviously really uncomfortable with this situation. Just sitting there basically by himself, eating, feeding his GF/date/whatever, while she was permanently on the phone, taking selfies, and complaining about the food. It was cringe and sad at the same time. Poor guy. At a concert this dude tried climbing on stage, got caught by security and dragged out in front of everyone. I saw a guy at a Flogging Molly concert get up on stage and start dancing until he got tackled by security. It was hilarious. A marriage proposal is a question that you should know the answer to in advance, always. But especially in such a public place. One time when I was going to college I heard some random guy say in full seriousness that you don't have to wash your pants. And he was telling that to some woman. I hope she wasn't his girlfriend. Levi came out and said not to wash your jeans, so that's what he probably based it on. Link. People doing TikTok dances. Came here to say this. God, it's so painful to watch. Dancing for video attention is so annoying. I scroll past anyone dancing for TikTok or any other SOC media. No thanks. Watched a grown-ass man, like late 50s/early 60s, throw an absolute 7-year-old style tantrum outside of a conveyor belt sushi restaurant because he hadn't been seated yet, despite the restaurant being first come, first serve with no reservations, about 10 people also waiting outside before he got there, and he was accompanied by his mother, who had to be in her late 80s. At a bar a sort of new guy hangs out at the bar and chats with the bartender and me and overcomes an attractive woman and asks for 2 beers. I guess the new guy didn't hear her all too well and he leans in, trying to be smooth and says make that 2 beers, and the bartender was like she asked for 2 beers. He just goes, oh, and slumps down, looking away while the girl awkwardly smiles before getting her beers and walking back to her friend. A dad with his son walked into the library and the dad sat on the couch. He let out the biggest loudest fart that everyone turned to look at him. It was already pretty damn quiet in there, so it probably sounded even louder. I think he thought the cloth couch would muffle his fart. Anyways, he gets extremely red in the face and gets up, grabs his son by the arm and says let's go. He walks out with his son who is protesting that they just got there. Was walking in to go pay for gas, saw a guy walking out and telling his kid, did you take your pill? You know how you get. Little kid had a big ass can of Monster in his hand. To be fair, we don't specifically know the kid has like ADHD or something, but the big can of Monster isn't a good look. My coworker does not like doing his job, so he would use the air hose to send his mess onto my side for me to clean up. I started sending it back to him and his response was to get in my face and start screaming like a child. To be fair people, my friends also tell me that as an adult. I don't have a Monster can though, just a cup of boiled coffee. Kids shouldn't drink ass cans. I walked up to a very overweight lady getting finger banged by her beanpole juggalo boyfriend on a public bench in broad daylight. Thank Jesus I was far enough away that they stopped before I could see anything other than his hand down her pants. Some huge lady screaming at the cashier at Taco Bell. She was so upset about something being forgotten she was throwing the food she was given and just screaming at the people behind the counter. It was super cringe. Was at the grocery store and a man in front of me in the checkout line smacked his wife's ass as they were paying. Not in a playful manner, but in a fashion that you would expect in the bedroom. Super aggressive with it. Made me extremely uncomfortable. Not overly surprising considering that both were wearing designer clothes and gave off rich vibes. Sounds like you came across Kanye West and that chick he's with. Once saw a guy counting his money with a calculator on the floor of a store to see how many hentai DVDs he could buy with the money he had on him. He had at least 6 or 7 just in full display on the ground while he counted up the price tags. Do they just sell hentai DVDs in lots of stores where you are, or? I tripped over the cord for a speaker in front of the entire Remembrance Day crowd in my hometown, 200-ish people. Entire silence except for my friends and I, laughing our asses off. I was 22. Corn maze at Halloween. Came up to a dead end and 2 teenagers going at it. Dude makes eye contact and asks if I want to stay and watch. Just walked off laughing. Did you touch the tips of your air hoses together after? What an immature person, hope your air hose doesn't have any holes in it now. This grown 40-year-old man was yelling at a 16-year-old girl at Burger King because his food was taking too long, even though it was only her and one cook back there, and he saw that coming in and could have easily went to a different restaurant. But no, he screamed at a teenage girl and made her cry, and she had to get the manager.
Hey guys, it's Reddit Glitch. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I just wanted to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button because according to my statistics, 98.8% of my viewers are not subscribed, which I think you should subscribe because it's free, and we're going to have a lot more bangers in the future, so subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.